Okay, here is the finished Messerschmitt 110G. I forget which number of G it is. Night Fighter Eduard kit, 1/48 scale. I said before in the series, there's a huge part count, which doesn't make it easy, and some fit issues, particularly around the nacelle cowlings for the engines, which I've did a lot of filling on. It's been quite a struggle in parts to get it, because some of the engineering has been doubtful. You can see that, I forget what, a Liechtenstein radar, I think it's called Fug. I can't remember the full German name for it, but one of the forms of night fighter radar. I think it had a range of, I don't know, something like 5 kilometers or something. They'd be directed by ground radar towards a target, and then they need to pick it up on this, which must have slowed the speed down of the aircraft, but at night that's not quite the same issue. It must have been quite a bit of drag sticking that out the front. Engineering, doubtful. Each of these little right-angled arm things was a tiny separate piece, and it was supposed to attach to the nose by a tiny little pedestal thing. So as I said before, I actually drilled holes right the way through it, about 45 degrees to each other, through the nose, and used some very fine brass tubing I've got from our model supplies, and put that through, crossing over in the middle of the nose, and squashed it flat so that I could glue these little arms onto that. And I think it's worked out quite well. It doesn't show up too badly at all. Let's turn it a bit. Chose to leave the cockpits open because just sometimes I like to have the cockpits left open. Added details, I put pilot's head armour, which wasn't supplied. I'm sure he would have had head armour. Most fighter cockpits did. Pilot cockpits in bombers too, come to that. It replaced the strange gunner radar operator's seat with something that looked a bit more realistic, that would swivel, because he would need to swivel to face backwards to reload the Schrager music cannons that point upwards. Also to fire to the rear if ever that became necessary, but I would face forward to look at his radar screens. Props don't turn, but I'm not desperate about that. But I'm pleased to have finished it. It was, yes, a bit of a struggle, but there you go. I fitted the overload drop tanks here, which the night fighters often carried just for endurance, patrolling at night.
Can we look at the bottom again, because you moved it and I wasn't ready?
Oh really? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm reasonably pleased with that. My father, it would seem, shot one of these down. I think I've said this before. He was a mid-upper gunner on Halifax B3, so he had 4 303 Browning machine guns. And I think it was his first operational mission. This would have been February 45. Apparently the Messerschmitt was about to turn in from their starboard to attack them from the beam, and he managed to shoot it down before. It wasn't credited at the time, but somebody very kindly on Facebook looked up Luftwaffe records and found that indeed the Luftwaffe had lost a Messerschmitt 110 in the area on that mission, which seemed likely to have been Eduard. I think it was a mission to Reisalz, I'm not sure. So, here we go. Finished at last. I'm quite pleased to have finished it. I'm now doing a U-boat. It's about 3 feet long, 170 seconds ago. Bloody huge. Need 2 tables to work on it, really.
Yeah, you're not having mine.
No, I'm just about managing with a clear table, nothing else on it. Okay, thank you very much. Ta-ta.